chill out with that. Do you think it was God that gave this guy his God-given talent?
Who's that? Mark McGwire, the best home run hitter of all time?
You think it was his PED talent, or it was his...
Where does he get his home run power from?
And I quote, "I believe that I'm here to be a ball player, but I think God gave me the ability to hit home runs."
God gave him the ability.
Yeah, that's what he thinks.
Did it have anything to do with performance-enhancing drugs by any chance, or it was all Jesus?
That's where he put the needle. Right in there. Right in his anus.
For the viewer, we are pointing at his anus.
Let the record reflect, we're pointing at Mark McGwire's anus. Heavily armed. Everything about Mark McGwire is big, including his legendary 20-inch biceps.
I thought you were going a different way with that.
No, I'm sure everything else.
His legendary 20-inch. I didn't expect
20-inch
biceps to come next. God bless me with his 20-inch. Remember, I believe God put me here with this 20-inch penis.
It's as you can see, it's strapped around his leg. He's a tearjerker.
That's where it ends, right?
That's where it ends, right under the knee, right under the kneecap.
I believe God gave me this 20-inch penis so I could hit 50 home runs in my rookie year.
He fucking beat Roger Maris to 61. It's so ridiculous.
Did he call the Maris widow and apologize to her when it came out in steroid
He
allegations?
certainly kissed her face after he fucking beat his record.
I believe the story goes.
Could you believe
that she took a drive to the Hall of Fame and took a dump right on the bat.
Yo, that nigga ain't in the Hall of Fame.
No, the bat is.
Oh, it shouldn't be in.
And I'm proud to say that my bat will lie next to Rogers.
Yeah, he's proud to say that.
He was crying more than a raped schoolgirl.
He's a fucking all that steroids was taking his look at tearjerker. He's probably the strongest man in baseball, but Mark McGwire is also
he's real
one big
tearjerker.
By the way, this is a magazine that's 12 years old, but I still find it funny to this day.
I remember watching wrestling at that time, and they were talking about Mark McGwire.
Yeah.
It's like, and then Mark McGwire is going to break the record.
This nigga's huge.
And we can't figure out why he's hitting 70 home runs out of nowhere.
We don't know. We can't figure it out. Could have.
And here comes this Dominican spick, Sammy Sosa, and he's hitting 67 home runs a year.
Do you think it had anything to do with the fact that it was the late 90s and everybody was doing it? If only I could go back and warn everyone. Stop the presses. Like, what did nobody, just assume this? Everybody was just like, yo, he's God. It's like,
I'll tell you what, people should have sold that day. It's like, I got the 60-second home run ball, sold. Nah, I'm going to keep it.
That shit is
let it increase in value.
2010
comes around, that shit only increased in value.
That thing's
in value for the garbage.
Fecal matter, that shit should be in the sewage, along with that muskrat. But, yeah. I mean, if only I could... nobody thought these guys were using PEDs back then. Nobody even said it. Nobody was just like, maybe he's doing steroids. What was such a gray area that nobody could even mention it?
Because we were young at the time. We were like 13,
I didn't think
12.
about steroids, but I'm saying...
The word never even got brought up.
I mean, I remember this is a big deal. I was in middle school when this was going on. This was a tremendous deal.
It was huge.
I wasn't a fan of him because I was a Roger Maris fan.
But any time there was a chase, it was a big deal. I remember when it was Griffey and Tino Martinez and Mark McGwire going for it.
How many PEDs did Griffey do?
None. But Tino Martinez, I mean, he hit 46 home runs that year.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. These guys are just hitting. I know, the late 90s, it was just to hit 40 home runs was not a biggie.
No, at first it was, you hit 40, you were the man. Frank Thomas hit 40 home runs. It's like, oh, two-time MVP.
Is a fucking big deal.
And then it came to the point where it's like, oh, you got... I remember, what's his name? I can't remember his name. He was just such a no-name. He played for the Orioles. What's his fucking name?
Tomlin?
He hit 50. Brady Anderson, 220 hitter his entire career, hit 50 home runs. And people were like, oh, he must have had a career year.
Yeah.
And what about even Luis Gonzalez? 270 hitter his entire career. And then he breaks the total base record held by Lou Gehrig for 80 years. Yeah, out of nowhere, people don't think.
Yeah, these guys just... Look at this guy's forearm. His forearm is the size of your head.
Look at that thing.
It's a big forearm. Put it on macro so we can really see close up.
Okay.
How, I mean, that forearm is just massive.
I mean, you have to jerk your dick 30, 40,000 meters.
60, 40 meters. Look at his traps. You take that suit off.
And look, he's not even taking a big stride. This is just a regular...
That's a standard stride.
This is regular batting practice. Hitting balls 550 feet.
545 feet batting practice. And that's all I got to say about that. But yeah, and it's a 12-year-old magazine, and I got some other funny ones from this one, but it's funny. But like one of the other magazines, it's like baseball players are hitting record home runs this year, but Mark McGwire is stronger than them all. It's like, yeah, maybe it's stronger in dosage, maybe.
Like, how much juice was he pumping? We would say, like, the amount that Big Papa Pump was pumping.
I'd say it's got to be close to the level of Mr. Pump.
I mean, Big Papa Pump couldn't even wipe his ass. His muscles were so huge.
Scott Steiner had a bicep on a bicep, and then veins.
Remember
on top
that
of the
thing?
third bicep.
It was like a sundae with a cherry on top.
Yeah, it was.
Of muscle.
Of muscle. It was an ice cream sundae.
I can't. Nah, he was the biggest motherfucker I've ever seen in my entire
Biggest
life.
juiced head.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, he's not
He didn't have bigger
breaking
biceps
records.
than-
He's not breaking prestigious
no
records. Like, he's there to
allowed to do it.
entertain.
It's what I'm saying. He's
Yeah.
entertaining us by his juice. It's hysterical.
Like, I'm not
Watch
mad
guy.
that Stallone,
No, even-
when he's
yeah,
65, gets caught with juice for Rambo.
Well, even Stallone is.
What, is he gonna go to the gym until he
HGH.
dies to make that movie? Like,
No, it's true.
but he's not
Nah,
breaking records. He's making a
It's true.
fucking movie.
Yeah, it's entertaining. Like, McGuire, everyone else. They're entertaining, but they're also,
I mean,
they're
the
up for this
president,
prestigious.
the president calls people for perfect games.
Yeah,
now.
like nice, perfect game. Did he call Dallas Braden?
I'm sure he didn't.
I wouldn't call Dallas Braden.
Obama don't like them
No,
young white
young
boys.
white folk. Nor do I. For Dallas Braden.
He's more about Chicago than America.
Yeah, no, he's more about Chicago. He's like, I'd like to see Mariano Rivera on the White Sox.
I'd like to see the Olympics in Chicago.
I'd like to see the Chicago in Chicago. The off Broadway play Chicago.
Oh, that's a good one.
He'd like to see that in Chicago.
People that got that.
Got that
It was a good
reference.
one. I'm not gonna laugh. It's past me.
I'd like to see the Chicago. I'd like to see that movie Ferris Bueller in
but
Chicago.
did he congratulate anybody besides Dustin Bufflin for winning the Stanley Cup in Chicago? Marion Hossa? Who?
Where's he from?
Who?
What country is that?
What country
I
is
lost all my. And that's it for today. But take it easy, though.